Hi YouTube. Today we're watching I Am Become Fancy Theater. From Internet Historian. If you'd like more content like this, please feel to like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump straight into the video. Let's go.
Brought to you by NordVPN.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, NordVPN. His last NordVPN thing did not disappoint.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Look at you.
Interesting.
Uncultured.
Oh,
unsophisticated.
Yep, that's me.
Middle class.
That's
No, don't speak. You'll just make me throw up. I'd say
sorry.
cover up with this dinner jacket, but I'm afraid that you'd get your head stuck in the sleeve and asphyxiate.
Help, I'm stuck.
Listen, lowborn. Don't you want to
Something
be
about this animation's freaking me the fuck out.
Don't you want to be
Profine.
fancy? Like moi? That's French.
Sick handlebar
I don't
mustache.
expect you to know what it means. But I have some good news. Before this financial year ends, I have decided to make a charitable deduction. It's you, champ.
Bless you.
For you see, I...
We can have premarital sex.
This virus.
Oh.
I have made several videos, though, which will show you how to bluff your way to the inner circles. Undetected. Yes. By the time the elites find out,
Neon Genesis Evangelion is psychological and intense.
it will be too late.
Oh.
I get you in, you eat all the hors d'oeuvres, and we get out. That's the plan. And let's
Bet.
begin your instruction with... Theater.
Theater.
The YouTube premium of upper society.
Well, let's fucking go.
And the first section? Symphony.
Ooh.
The first period of performance, that's called Baroque, from 1600 to 1750.
We're
This
learning.
featured Bach and Vivaldi. Now, there was also a guy named Giuseppe Tartini, and he was the best one of them all.
Giuseppe
because one
Tartini.
evening, he had a dream where the devil showed up and presented him with a deal. The devil would become his teacher and impart on him everything he knew about music.
How to drop the
Once
bass.
Tartini had learnt everything he could, he handed over his violin and asked the devil to play. The devil played the greatest musical piece that Tartini had ever heard. Tartini
fucking
woke
yeah.
up with a gasp,
I love it when
and he
the
tried to
devil plays me the
recreate
best
what
music
he
I've
had
ever heard.
heard in the dream. And what he wrote down was his most famous piece, the best thing he had ever written. And he said, "This is shite compared to the original. This is nothing better than a tribute." And that's where you get the Tenacious D song from. He named this
Fucking
piece
hell
The
yeah.
Devil's Trill. And he claimed that the difference between his version and the version in the dream was so great that he would have smashed his violin and quit music forever had he not needed it for his job.
Dude went
Classical,
crazy for
1750 to 1830. Mozart and Beethoven show up like da 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 da. Now, Beethoven was famously known for going deaf. Once that happened, everyone told him that he should just quit music forever. But
that's
he
so
just
rude.
wouldn't hear it. Anyway, there's so much I could say about these two. Romantic era. Now that's when everybody started kissing, and it's my favorite. Great piece.
God, everybody
Mwah.
started kissing?
Oh,
Are we
you
gonna
played
kiss next,
wonderfully
chat?
too. Mwah. We
Hot.
also enjoyed listening. Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. All you need to know about this one is Chopin and Berlioz.
Let's fucking
Berlioz,
go.
however, was not getting any kisses. He was relatably
He got no
painfully
bitches.
single, living alone in Paris.
Rip.
The city of love. So here's how it started. He's there and he's in his early 20s.
20s and
and he
single
is
looking for
looking
action.
for a new
ASL?
GF. So one day he attends a Shakespearean play.
Oh.
And on stage he spots an actress and he immediately falls in love with her. He wrote her many notes confessing his love. But her DMs went unreplied.
Her DMs were closed.
So he
I'm so
began
sorry.
writing a symphony about her. Ah, how can she ignore this? And also around this time he started smoking a lot of opium, but don't worry about that. Anyway, so he wrote this piece just for her. However, his DM still went unreplied. For several months, he started to get quite disheartened.
Got left on fucking delivered, bro. That's so sad.
Until he saw another girl. So he immediately fell in love with her instead, and he said, you know what? I'm going to change that symphony I wrote, so now it's about this other lady, and not about that ugly one that I didn't like anyway. This time,
Real
happily,
mature.
she reciprocated, and they fell in love and were set to marry. Suddenly.
What
the
tragedy?
phones haven't been invented yet. Yes, hello, I'm busy. Oh, Rome? To study? Absolutely, I'll catch the first flight out. So Berlioz went to Rome to study music. However,
Abandon his
while he
bitch. How
was
dare?
away, he got some news.
Berlioz. I have to tell you something.
Sacre bleu. Some
What
other,
happened?
more handsome musician swooped in and married his girl while he was in Rome, and they ran away together.
That's what he gets for leaving
Berlioz
her there
was
in France. What
furious,
happened? You don't
and he
just
set
abandon.
his mind to solving the problem. I know what I'm going to do.
Oh, ominous.
I'm gonna murder her and her
Aw,
lover
nah, bro.
and her mom.
And her mom.
And
What did her
then
mom
I'm gonna do a self-murder.
Bro.
All right, so this gets pretty elaborate. His idea is to dress up as a housemaid.
Okay.
He has bought both poison and 2 guns. Now, he is going to sneak into the house of his ex-fiancée, and there she and her mother will be sipping tea, which he has already poisoned. Then he will pull off the
Dude
clothing
straight
and
up turned
reveal
into the
himself.
anime villain.
Blam, blam, sad overture. So, he heads back home to Paris to do it. But while on his travels there, takes quite a while, he has to change carriages. And when he does that, he leaves the guns in one of the little cubbies. So he's lost all his weapons. What is he
you
gonna do now?
fucking bozo. You fucking bozo.
Well, his next leg on the stop is Genoa, and he decides, you know what? Let's just skip the murder and go straight to the finale. So he stops
Aw,
off in the
that's
port
sad.
city of Genoa, and he's there at the side of the Mediterranean. He pauses for a moment, then he throws himself in. Now, some people see this whole thing happen, and they think he's had an accident, so they run in to try to save him. They pull him to the shore. He lived. So he has now reached his lowest point. He dejectedly continues home. He gets back to Paris, and he wallows around, feeling
It's so
pretty
sad.
sorry for himself. But he decides, you know what? I
What?
may as well do what I do best in
Hell yeah.
times of trouble. Smoke a lot of opium. And while I
As
do
one
that, I shall
does, I
write
guess.
a symphony. Although I ain't gonna name it after that hoe who stole my heart. And so he went back to work. But here's the thing. It was the greatest piece he had ever written. And it premiered to a huge crowd. And you know what? It was a smash hit. #1 on iTunes. But then, and here's a bloody plot twist. Remember the first girl?
Oh my god, thank you for
Well,
the
she
follow.
attended that concert, and she realized that Berlioz was a genius. And then she wrote a letter to your boy saying,
Oh my God.
how good your bloody symphony was, and sorry about not replying, I just put my phone down and got super busy or whatever. By the way,
He finally got the
I
girl.
love you. And so Berlioz goes, well, I love you too. And a year later, they were married.
Oh my
That's a
god.
beautiful moral of the story. See, fellas, don't jump in the Mediterranean. Anyway, a few years later, they got divorced.
Aw.
Because weirdly, he cheated on his wife with the housemaid. Not that one, a different one.
Oh my
but
gosh.
then he married that housemaid. Hooray.
Okay, good for him, I
But
guess.
then when he died later on, for some reason, he gets buried with both of them. It's kind of strange.
Huh?
But moving on to the Impressionist musicians.
Let's
Now
go.
that's Claude
Debussy!
what now?
Let's go!
Claude.
We found Debussy.
You know what? You'd better go to ad time. All right, guys, welcome back to the Nord Stream. Today we're playing Assassin's Creed 3.
Hell yeah.
Chat, come on, chat. Hey, oh, everyone's spamming Nord in the
His
chat.
name? What was his name? Hold on, we gotta go back to Debussy.
Whoa, a new follower. Hey, welcome to the Dream Team. Now that's
Okay.
Claude
His name was Claude Debussy. I am making it up. Look, there's a Y there. His name was Claude Debussy. We appreciate Debussy. Anyway, back to the ad.
The what now? Claude, the what? You know what? You'd better go to ad time. All right, guys, welcome back to the
Incredible.
Nord stream.
What a fucking terrific name.
Today we're playing Assassin's Creed 3. Chat, come on, chat. Hey, oh, everyone's spamming Nord in the chat.
Nord.
Whoa, a new follower. Hey,
VPN
welcome
lover,
to
let's
the
go.
Dream Team Sub Cream. Thank you so much for the great. Oh, unfollowed. Sorry, guys. The cleaners are here. Sorry, just ignore the mess. I haven't cleaned up these bottles yet. No,
Hey, yo,
it's
that's
just
a lot
tea.
of bottles.
It's just tea.
Is it tea or is it piss? Do you have a piss bottle?
Not
Not a real streamer if you don't have a piss bottle.
for 10 hours a day, and it's like the algorithm is against me or something. How come everyone is watching Asmon's stream, and I'm not getting any new followers? I'm playing the games. What more do you want me to do? Just a
Yikes.
quick word from the sponsor. NordVPN is the VPN that you can trust. So go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian for a huge deal on a
Hell
2-year
yeah.
plan, plus 4 bonus months for free, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. My
Let's
God.
go.
Today we are gonna be watching the new Snow White movie. I love the intro. Oh, I love seeing that Disney logo. That's
Ooh.
brilliant. That's brilliant. Guys, I'm just gonna get up and get some food. I'll be back in a minute.
Huh? Oh, she's pretty.
What the f? Who reported my stream?
Rip.
Hello, my Nordlings. Welcome back to the stream. Can we get some ends in the chat, guys? Not like that. Mods!
Jesus
Welcome
Lord.
back to the ASMR stream for NordVPN. Today I'm going to be drinking a can of...
Hey, YouTube viewers. You should come follow my Twitch. It's really cool.
Coke while I say the word Nord.
I don't like the way this sounds in my ears.
Nord. Hey, thank you for the tier 3 sub. With NordVPN, I can be outside my house, Jack's Film's house, Samito's house, Ordinary
Oh my
Things
god, we're going
house.
to Jack's Film's house?
Just
oh
like
no.
that. Welcome back to the hot tub stream. What do you guys mean? How many hot dogs can I put in my mouth? Why? I'll just... Oh my god, $5,000 donation. Thank you so much. You
Lord.
guys are such good friends. Streaming's not for me. I'd rather go to nordvpn.com/internethistorian to get a huge deal on a 2-year plan, plus 4 months for free.
This is a really
And
long
over.
ad. Anyway, it's over.
Watching Netflix.
Go back to
are
Claude
you?
Debussy, please.
All
Oh.
tucked in with a 3-hour essay on Good Game Good, and here's why.
Fallout New Vegas is actually the only based Bethesda game.
Turn that off. I've got something for you much less
think you got
enjoyable
piss in your
and
eyes.
far
Back
more
up.
expensive. We're going to the theater.
Yay! Finally back to the theater.
Theater, from the ancient Greek theatron, the most dramatic of the Transformers.
Hell yeah.
It means a place for viewing. Here's a Roman theater. They were quite simple back then. You have the stage, the auditorium, and the vomitorium. Now, for a very long time, people
Vomitorium?
thought that the vomitorium was a place where the Romans would gorge themselves, where they would eat so much that they would throw up and then gorge themselves again because they were so decadent and/or bulimic. But it comes from the word vomir, which means to spew forth, because that's where people go in and out. So vomitorium is just a dramatic
Mildly
way of
horrified even
saying
at that thought.
the entrance. Now, if you skip forward to the 1800s, things are getting a lot more modernized, but they still didn't have electric. So they had what's called the limelight.
Ooh.
And that's why they say to be in the limelight, to be the star of the show. What they would do was take a piece of quicklime and heat it up super hot,
Okay.
which will naturally glow very bright. They would then take reflective mirrors and lenses to focus the beam, and they would use that as an early form of the spotlight.
Oh, that's
The
dope.
limelight is not because it's green, but because it's made from quicklime. In the modern day, things are a lot more advanced, and they can do all sorts of cool shit with like lasers going into your eyeballs and all sorts of stuff.
Oh my god, lasers in my
But it's
eyes,
not just the
please.
tech that's had an upgrade, it's the architecture as well. In Elizabethan times, they had the yard, and you could get in here for about a penny apiece. And this is where all the poor
Hell yeah.
people stood to watch the shows. It's like when you go
like
to
dog shit
Oppenheimer and you end up with
content.
the
Please
worst
subscribe.
seats in the IMAX theater, right? But thankfully, in modern times, we have fixed that problem. We kicked out all the poor people and we sunk the floor down low and put in an orchestra pit. Now, these things are usually 6 to 12 feet deep, so they're not obstructing the audience's view. But having a giant hole at the end of a stage is quite dangerous.
Yeah, oh god,
So
no.
usually they put a big net there as well. And yet, a lot of people still get pitted. Like
Oh,
a lot of
jeez.
people.
Oh my god.
In 2011, during a production of The Sound of Music, one of the lead actresses fell into the orchestra pit and was left paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh my
In
God.
2009, a conductor, not a superconductor, just a regular one, fell 14 feet into the dark pit and broke 9 vertebrae and 1 ankle. Mamma
Holy
mia.
shit.
And he fell on his pointy conducting thing. At the Bolshoi Theatre, a violinist
cringed.
died from his injuries after falling into the pit. This theatre is prone to all sorts of accidents, by the way.
What
it's
is-
kind of cursed.
These pits are
But
terrible. Why haven't
performers and
we patched
musicians
over them?
aren't the only ones falling into the pit. In 1988, an 82-year-old man fell from his balcony box seating all the way down
Oh
into
my
the pit
God.
during a performance of Macbeth. He died.
Yeah, who would have fucking
Very
thought?
spooky. Even already dead people are getting pitted. In 2016, a man sprinkled his friend's ashes into the orchestra pit at the Met Theatre.
That's how you get
This
banned
happened
and
during the
arrested,
intermission,
bro.
And it was a sort of tribute to a mentor of his. But of course, people went, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." And he flees the scene. Everyone's coughing and sneezing up dead guy.
Oh
and people
my
think,
God.
is this anthrax? What is this? So they call in the anti-terrorism police and the whole show is cancelled for the rest of the evening.
Did they ever find this dude? That sounds like an arrest.
A quick intermission.
Intermission, let's go.
Or is it?
Ooh, I was about to ask chat how they were doing.
Finitidi, I am the trap master. Not like that. Do not ask me to reveal my secrets, woman. I have dedicated my life to the mysteries of the theater.
Sure.
The theater. She has so many enigmatic traps. Let us start with the most simple yet devious.
Was he fucking twirling
the
hot dogs
wall
between
trap.
his fingers?
It allows the actor to walk directly into the set piece. Where did he go? Nobody knows. Cast
He
your
went into the
eyes
back
over
rooms,
here
of course.
to the genie trap. Now the victim stands on this dumbwaiter, and a counterweight launches their hapless body up onto the stage. Whoosh! In the olden days, this circle of flaps would sometimes go on top, and then that would make the whole thing just one way. Now, back when they made this thing, they didn't have hydraulics. So instead, they'd have like 6 stagehands pulling as fast as they could.
Oh, Jesus
And
Lord.
sometimes it would go totally wonky, or it wouldn't open properly, or they'd only get about halfway through. Oh, well, I guess that's it. There's only 2. Wrong! This is the vampire trap.
Hell yeah,
And if
show
I
me
want
the
to come
vampire
back
trap.
up again. This is called the sunroof trap. Very cool.
Dope.
Watch out for the closing doors on this one. It managed to trap Spider-Man's foot back into production in 2013. Me and the Green Goblin, we collabed on this one. All right, there's one more. The ghost glide. What you do is stand on this slidey bit, and it ascends diagonally, which makes it look like he's coming out of the ground. But the ladies are there yawning, they're going, ooh, short ghost. But then,
No.
5 foot, 5'1", 5'2". All the ladies are turning their heads now. 5'3", 5'4", 5'5". All the ladies are lovely.
Oh my god, a king.
Now, I bet
I
you're
love him.
wondering, what happens to the actors when they go down these traps? Are they dead and gone
Yeah,
forever?
obviously.
Yes,
Object
sometimes.
permanence is
In
not our specialty
1888,
here.
Frederick Federici was playing the role of Mephistopheles in Faust at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
As he descended the trap at the end of the play, goodbye, everybody, goodbye.
Did he actually die?
He had a heart attack and died. Never seen again.
Rip.
So as you can imagine, with this many deaths, the theatre has become a highly haunted place. Oh yes. In
So
fact,
many ghosts, so
sometimes
spooky.
you can put your ear right up to the wall and you can hear 2 male ghosts wrestling. Can't fake that. Ah, another ghost hole. Don't look inside. I did once. Almost went blind. That's why I wear the mask. Anyway, because of all the ghosts, the theatres do whatever they can to keep the spirits happy. See this?
It's a pretty cool ghost
It's
hole, not
called
gonna lie.
a ghost light. When everything is closed, it is kept on always. Kept on for the ghosts, so that they don't, bump their shins in the dark or whatever. At the Palace Theatre in London, there has been some ghostly activity.
It seems to be a bit of a hotspot for ghostly activities.
And that's
Oh,
why
is
they
that
always
right?
keep 2 empty seats at the back, so that the ghosts may sit there and watch the show.
So that's why we traditionally kept a couple of seats off sale for the ghosts. However, Harry Potter is so popular that we sell those seats now.
Oh.
Girl, you trying to
Also,
get these
most
people
theatres
haunted?
close for 1 day per week. And on those days, the ghosts are left to perform for each other in their own shows.
Hell yeah.
Which they like, we think.
I was worried about my own vagina. It
Oh,
needed a
finally,
Yeah, me
the
too.
vagina
a
monologues.
culture of other vaginas.
Ghost pussy hole, yeah.
You know, I wasn't always part of the elite. In fact, from a very young age, I grew up in an orphanage. No, my parents weren't dead. Rent in that building was just really cheap. But my parents showed me no affection. And as soon as they could, they sent me off to
This
boarding
is so
school.
sad. Alexa, play Despacito.
But boards were always their passion, not mine. I tried to run away, but they caught me. And boy, did they throw the book at me. Alas, I did not dodge in time. I spent the next few years in a coma.
Not a coma.
A Native American town, Pueblo, Acoma. And the people there taught me how to read American.
Mean
They
American.
also had a
Oh my
local
god.
library, and I spent my days buried in books, learning as much as I could about the arts.
Ninja
And once someone
get
noticed
what?
me buried under those books, and they rescued
So
me,
many books. Do I recognize any of
I
them?
knew I wanted to teach default character presets like yourselves, all about Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Editor's note. I started Googling Shakespeare, and I got kind of distracted, so I don't know. Here's a WAV file. You can do something with this. Put him in like a classroom or something. All right, attention, everybody. I am your new teacher. You are a bunch of troubled inner city youths.
Are we
All you
now?
know is shoot gun,
Are they about to
fail
talk about
test,
fucking Macbeth or something?
and crime. But I'm here to teach you that
Romeo and
actually
Juliet, what is
books
it?
and
I can't
reading
remember.
and stuff are actually pretty epic after all. Now, the earliest known written language is what, Mr. Single Parent Household? I don't know, Teach, but you're never gonna get through to me. Oh, really?
What kind of fucking beat
Well, what if
bliss
I
movie
go
is this?
back in time?
Oh, back in
Back
time.
in time. In the long, long ago, very few could read. But to be fair, most of the written languages were kinda shit. This is cuneiform, the very first written language, and it has far too much punctuation. Then eventually came along the Egyptians, and they invented emojis, but they would call them
Hieroglyphs?
hieroglyphs. Anyway, the typical written thing would go like this. Message for you, sir. Big bird, man with stick, man sitting, circle. Oh, more bills. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Eventually that became quite annoying, so the Phoenicians, who were a kind of Lebanese, very progressive especially for those days,
Venice, that's what
now they came up with a
Stop, that's
better
what these
idea.
two
They
girls
started
wrote.
going, hey, that sounds a bit like an A. Buh, that sounds a bit like a B. Kuh, and so on, until we had a proto-form of the alphabet.
Oh.
Now, the Greeks thought that was pretty neato, but they said, let's come up with an even better version with 22 letters, and soon that will be like English.
Okay,
Oh,
teach me the
that's-
Greek alphabet now.
Greeks, more like geeks. Got 'em. Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you about something highly relatable. Of the surviving Greek works, the greatest hits were the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Oh
now,
my
because
God.
most people couldn't
Hell
read.
yeah.
Hey, This stuff wasn't written down for a very long time, and instead it was memorized and performed. And when they performed it, they used one of these, a lyre.
Oh my god, a
Now,
liar.
this was great for conveying tone, right? So here's a soft bit, doo-doo-doo, but then this is a big dramatic bit. Dun, 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 dun. Now, the Iliad starts with this guy, Menelaus, king of Sparta.
Let's
And
go.
he has a wife, Helen, and she is a very fine lady. And then the Prince
Helen
of
of
Troy
Troy?
shows up. His name is Paris, and he goes, "Damn, shorty, awooga, awooga." Okay?
I
That's
also
what he'd say,
walk up to girls
right?
and go, damn
And
shorty,
he and his
awooga,
boys
awooga.
abduct her and took her all the way back to his crib in Troy. Now this makes Menelaus quite miffed.
Hey, hold on there, Buster.
He declares a turf war, but he can't win it alone.
Oh god,
so
is
he
this the
calls
Trojan
on
War?
his homies, Odysseus, king of Ithaca, and Achilles, the best drive-by shooter of all time.
Hell yeah,
But
Achilles.
Achilles is not in the mood to fight, so the whole of the Iliad is basically spent trying to convince this guy to get involved.
Please?
No.
Please?
No.
Eventually, they win the turf war by being very sneaky. They make a giant horse, which is the
Yep.
symbol of Troy, and they leave it at the front gate. That's their way of saying, "Oh, I guess you win. We're walking away now." And meanwhile, thousands of soldiers go off and hide in some bushes. Now, the Trojans are very suspicious, but they can see that the Greek ships are actually sailing away into the horizon. So they know, "Oh, it must be real, must be real. We've won the many years' war."
Yay!
But actually, there's almost no one on those ships, and there's a surprise inside the horse. Later that night, when everyone's asleep, boiling hot tzatziki everywhere. And also some soldiers wearing thermal protection. They get out and they open the gates, and then everyone comes out of the bushes, running into the city, and kill everybody.
Yeah, damn.
After they win the war, Odysseus heads back home to Ithaca. However, on his way, he starts making beef with Poseidon, god of the sea.
Why
And
would you beef
Poseidon
with
is
God of the
mad
sea
at
if you're on the sea, bro?
disrespect.
How
So
dumb.
he sends Odysseus on a long-ass detour, and that detour is the story of the Odyssey. Pretty epic, right, kids?
Yeah.
Whoa, Teach, that's fire. I'm starting to come around. That Odysseus guy is literally me. Yeah, I'm going to try that horse trick on my ops. Homer, from Homer's Odyssey, is not a character in the story. He's the guy who tells the story, and then people wrote it down.
he's a
Now,
bard,
moving
right?
chronologically to the next big one, you've got the Bible. And for all practical
The Holy
purposes,
Bible.
this was basically an oral tradition too. Most people were illiterate by this point, and the Bible was written in Latin, and pretty much only the clergy knew Latin. So they would be the one to recite it to people.
It says that the cute lady at the front should go on a date with me, please. Listen, the rules are the rules. I didn't say it.
Oh my god, yeah.
There was a translated
Sounds like
version
Tuna needs
into
to come on a
English,
date with
the
me. I didn't make the
Wycliffe's
rules.
Bible, and you better believe that thing was a threat to the order. So they made that illegal to own.
What?
And if you were found with an unlicensed copy, the punishment would be death. So it remained.
That's a
The
little
Bible
dramatic,
was read to
goddamn.
the people. Now, by the 1300s came Chaucer, who wrote the Canterbury Tales, and that was a pretty big deal.
Get this book now.
Because it's one of the first significant works written in Middle English. It describes a bunch of people making a pilgrimage from Southwark to Canterbury, which is here to here, which was the longest journey anyone had ever made in the 1300s. And now, it's a whole series of stories, and most of them can be boiled down to, how come if everyone is on a pilgrimage, you're all so focused on material stuff? Hypocrites
we gotta
much?
pause, we gotta pause. Big Andy, thank you for the raid. Oh my god, hold on, I just fucked up something. Big Andy, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hi, my name is Azura. I am a panda VTuber from the stars, and it's so nice to meet you. What were we doing? You were just chatting? Hell yeah. We are going to return to our videos, but Raiders and Andy, if you guys need to take a break, get something to eat, get something to drink, I completely understand. Thank you again for the raid. I'll treat them well. Let's enjoy the rest of our video together. We got 3 more minutes left. I was building a Zoid. What's a Zoid?
In Middle English. It describes a bunch of people making a pilgrimage from Southwark to Canterbury, which is here to here, which was the longest journey anyone had ever made in the 1300s. Now, it's a whole series of stories, and most of them can be boiled down to, how come if everyone is on a pilgrimage, you're all so focused on material stuff? Oh, hypocrites much? Dong.
Hell yeah.
It's now the 1600s, and they've updated all the textbooks from Middle English to regular. In 1601,
Yay,
King
regular
James
English.
I said, all right, you know what? Let's everyone have a copy of the Bible they can read. Let's do a King James Bible. I won't feature in it, but I'd love to be in the title. And he commissioned a committee of scholars to rewrite the thing in English, God's language.
Now I can't speak Spanish or anything.
It took 8 years. And that brings us to Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
And he's a huge deal. Oh, look, we're out of time. But sir, we're supposed to do penis inspection day today.
Penis inspection day. Whip him out,
there's
boys.
No time. Roll the end card.
All right.
The end. All right, that's the lesson. You watched the whole video. Or at least, you had it on in the background while you scrolled your phone.
Thanks for the
And I
clip. You're
couldn't
welcome.
be prouder of you. There's just one more quick thing I want to tell you about. Theater props. For example, this gun.
Gun.
Now, the thing... Oh, look
No.
who it
Oh.
is.
Oh.
I know what you're thinking, but it's just an actor. We all know that the real Lincoln is dead. You know, when he fell asleep on the tracks of the Underground Railroad. Anyway, this thing is super realistic. Although the trigger is a little loose. Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy, rest in peace.
Oh, I can't believe you did that. But I won't tell anyone. And, in fact, good news. I'm gonna make you my little protege. And I will be your protojo. And I got so many more lessons to teach. Still here, huh? Yes, just a little cleaning.
Okay,
More
thank
good
you
news.
guys for
Next
watching. If
video
you'd
is
like to see more
almost done.
content
It'll
like
be
this,
on
please feel free to like,
Incognito
comment,
Road,
and
and it's
subscribe.
about
And I'll see
the
you guys
art.
in the next
And
video.
the next main
Goodbye.
channel video is also nearly...